I was just trying to rent a yacht for the weekend, but what happened next changed everything. I had been looking forward to this day for weeks. After months of non-stop work, endless meetings and late nights, building my business from the ground up, I finally wanted to take a break. Just a quiet, peaceful escape on the water, a chance to breathe, to feel free, to celebrate how far I'd come. I am a successful Black woman, proud of my achievements, my independence, and the life I've built with my own two hands. So, when I called that yacht rental company, I imagined it would be smooth. I pictured myself on the deck, sunlight warming my skin, the breeze playing through my hair, and laughter echoing across the water. It was supposed to be simple, a reward for the battles I'd fought and won. But from the moment I walked in, something felt off. The smiles were polite but distant. The questions I got weren't about which yacht I wanted, or what time I preferred. They were about where I was really from, about whether I knew anyone who could vouch for me. Subtle, almost invisible, but the kind of questions that sting deep if you've heard them before. I felt the weight of their doubt in the air, like an invisible barrier hovering just out of sight. At first, I brushed it off, telling myself I was imagining things. After all, I'm successful, I own my life, I pay my bills on time. But as the minutes passed, that feeling grew heavier. Excitement mixed with frustration, hope mingled with hurt. I was beginning to realize this wasn't just about renting a yacht, it was about being seen, truly seen, as the woman I am. And maybe, just maybe, that was something they weren't ready for. When I first stepped into the yacht rental office, the polished floors and gleaming brochures made me feel like I was about to enter a world I'd earned the right to enjoy. I approached the front desk with a confident smile, ready to book the perfect yacht for my weekend getaway. The woman behind the counter greeted me with a quick nod and a rehearsed smile. "Good afternoon, how can I help you today?" she asked, her tone polite but guarded. I explained exactly what I wanted. A beautiful yacht for 2 days, something elegant but not too flashy. I mentioned the dates and my budget, feeling hopeful as I listened to her flip through the options. At first, everything seemed normal, but then I noticed the way her eyes flicked away when I answered certain questions. When I mentioned my name, and that I was the CEO of my own company, her smile tightened just a little. When I said I'd handle all payments up front, she didn't seem to believe me. Her questions shifted subtly. "Do you have references? Are you familiar with our policies on security deposits? Have you rented with us before?" These might sound like standard procedure, but the tone felt different, like I was being tested. Another employee joined, a man who avoided eye contact and stood just a little too close, watching me carefully. Neither of them offered any real assistance beyond the basics. Then came the moment I dreaded but expected: the denial. "I'm sorry, ma'am," the woman said, her voice neutral but final. "We won't be able to rent a yacht to you this weekend." That sentence hit me like a wave. I blinked, unsure if I'd heard correctly. "Excuse me," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She hesitated, then added, "There are some concerns about liability and insurance." It was vague, almost like an excuse. I knew better. For a moment the room felt too small, the polished walls closing in around me. I could see the unspoken message hanging heavy in the air: "You don't belong here." Shock and confusion battled inside me. How could this be? I'm a woman who owns multiple properties, who travels internationally, who's never missed a payment or caused trouble. How could they deny me like I was some stranger off the street? My mind flashed back to other times I'd faced this, trying to buy a luxury car and getting unexpected delays, visiting high-end stores where I was followed quietly, being told politely that this event might not be suitable for me. It wasn't just about money or credentials, it was about someone deciding without words that I didn't fit their image of success. That sting cut deep. It wasn't just a rental denied, it was a judgment passed on my worth and my place in this world. But as the denials settled around me like a dark cloud, something inside me refused to be crushed. I took a deep breath, reminding myself that my value isn't measured by their acceptance. And I knew this was far from over. I stepped outside the office, the cool breeze brushing against my face, but it did nothing to ease the heat burning inside me. Anger churned quietly beneath the surface, mingling with a deep sadness I hadn't expected. Disbelief clung to every thought. How could this happen? How could a simple yacht rental turn into a reminder that no matter what I achieved, some people still refused to see me as they should? For a moment I just stood there, feeling the weight of it all, the invisible walls built over years of judgment and assumption. I thought about everything I'd been through to get here. The late nights at my desk, the sacrifices I made, the voices I had to drown out telling me I wasn't enough. I was tired of fighting, but I wasn't about to give up now. My success wasn't handed to me, I built it from scratch, brick by brick, in a world that often tried to box me in before I even started. Every time I faced a stereotype, I smashed it with hard work and determination. Yet here I was again, facing the same tired assumptions, that because I'm a black woman, I don't belong in certain spaces. Why did people still think that way? Why did they assume I wasn't capable, that I didn't have the means, or that I didn't fit the image of wealth they had in mind? These questions echoed in my mind, but there were no easy answers. I felt a sharp ache in my chest, the kind of ache that comes from feeling unseen, unheard, and undervalued. The emotional low point hit hard. I wondered if it was easier to just walk away, to pretend this moment didn't matter, to avoid the discomfort of standing my ground. But something inside me flared, a quiet fire refusing to be extinguished. I realized then that this moment was bigger than a denied rental. It was about my dignity, my identity, my right to exist fully in every space I choose. I made a silent vow, firm and clear in my heart, asterisk. They will see me, but I will show up on my terms. No more hiding, no more shrinking to fit their narrow expectations. It was time to reclaim my power, to remind the world who I am, and that I am here to stay. With that promise burning inside me, I turned back toward the marina, ready for what was coming next, because this story wasn't over. Not by a long shot. Just minutes after leaving the rental office, still wrapped in a storm of emotions, I heard a deep, powerful hum, rolling over the water. At first I thought it was just another boat passing by, but something made me turn around. My heart started pounding in my chest, as I focused on the source of that sound. And then I saw it. My own super yacht was cutting through the waves, its sleek silhouette unmistakable against the shimmering water. The yacht I had worked so hard for, the yacht that wasn't just a symbol of wealth, but a testament to every late night, every risk, every setback I had faced and overcome. A rush of vindication flooded through me, washing away the sting of earlier rejection. Pride swelled in my chest, fierce and unshakable. Here I was, standing tall, not asking for permission or approval. I owned this moment, this space, and no one could take it from me. As the yacht approached the dock, memories flickered through my mind like a slideshow. I saw myself years ago, fighting to build my company from nothing, dealing with doubters who couldn't see past their own biases. I remembered the nights spent working while others slept, the sacrifices made, the moments of doubt I pushed through. Owning this yacht wasn't just about luxury, it was about proving that I belonged. That success isn't defined by anyone else's expectations, but by the work and heart you put in. At the marina, the rental staff and a handful of onlookers had gathered, their conversations faltering as they noticed the massive vessel gliding in. Their faces shifted from polite indifference to stunned surprise. Some whispered among themselves, eyes wide, while others glanced away, unwilling to meet mine. A tense silence fell. Would they acknowledge me? Would they admit they had been wrong, or would they try to pretend this had nothing to do with them? I didn't need their words, I didn't need their recognition. I moved with quiet confidence as I guided the yacht to dock, every step deliberate. When I stepped off the yacht onto the pier, the world seemed to hold its breath. No one said a word, but their eyes were locked on me, some with respect, some with disbelief, and some with the uncomfortable realization that I had shattered their expectations. I didn't say a thing. I didn't have to. My presence spoke volumes. This wasn't just about a yacht rental anymore. It was about visibility. It was about power. It was about demanding to be seen, on my own terms, without apology or excuse. And in that moment, as the sun reflected off the water, and the eyes of those around me burned with surprise, I knew one thing for sure. I had arrived. As I stood there, letting the quiet settle over the marina, I noticed movement out of the corner of my eye. The manager from the rental office was walking toward me, her steps quick but uncertain. Her carefully composed demeanor was cracked, her polite mask slipping away with every step she took. "I didn't expect this," she stammered, stopping just a few feet from me. Her eyes flicked nervously between my face and the yacht behind me. "Look, there must be some misunderstanding. We have policies. Insurance concerns. It's not personal." I looked at her calmly, my voice steady and clear. "No, it wasn't a misunderstanding. You denied me because of who I am. Because you assumed I didn't belong here." She swallowed hard, but I didn't let her off the hook. "I am a business owner. I am a woman who has earned everything I have. You saw me walk in, and instead of treating me like a valued customer, you treated me like a problem. That's not just unfair, it's bias. Plain and simple." Around us a small crowd had gathered, people who had been watching silently, unsure of what to say or do. I could feel their attention shift, some nodding subtly, others exchanging looks that spoke volumes. The manager opened her mouth to reply, but I cut her off gently, not with anger, but with strength. "I'm not here to argue or demand an apology. I'm here to remind you and anyone else watching that success comes in many forms. It doesn't come with a certain skin color, or a specific background, or a narrow idea of what someone should look like." I let that sink in, feeling a rush of relief as the tension began to dissolve, replaced by something quieter but more powerful. It wasn't just the yacht, or the denial, or even this confrontation. It was the moment I owned my story fully, my achievements, my identity, my right to claim space. One of the bystanders, a young woman standing a little ways off, smiled and gave me a subtle thumbs up. Another man whispered something to his friend, and they both glanced my way with newfound respect. For a brief shining moment, I allowed myself to feel the triumph, the kind that doesn't come from wealth alone, but from standing tall in the face of injustice, and refusing to shrink. I wasn't just successful, I was powerful, and I was exactly where I belonged. After that day at the marina, I spent a lot of time thinking not just about what happened, but what it really meant. That moment wasn't just about a yacht rental denied or a confrontation won. It was about something much deeper. It was about identity, about the way society sees Black women, even those of us who have climbed mountains, broken ceilings and built empires. You see, the world loves to tell stories about success, but often, those stories come with invisible footnotes, assumptions that limit us, judgments that try to box us in before we even get a chance to speak. Even when we succeed, those assumptions don't disappear. They linger, like shadows, reminding us we're still outsiders in places we've earned the right to be. That day, when they denied me a yacht rental, it wasn't just about a business decision, it was a message that said, "You don't belong here, despite everything I've done to prove I do." And that kind of message isn't just hurtful, it's dangerous. It chips away at our confidence, it narrows our dreams, and it tries to silence our voices. But here's what I believe: those old narratives are breaking. We are rewriting the story of what success looks like, who belongs, and how power is claimed. And it's not just for me, it's for every Black woman who's ever been told she's not enough, every young girl watching from the sidelines, wondering if there's a place for her in the world. I want her to know this. Your worth is not defined by their doubts or their prejudices. Your success is not measured by their narrow ideas. You are powerful, you are deserving, and you belong in every space you choose to enter. This experience was a reminder to keep pushing, to keep showing up fully and unapologetically. It was a call to action for all of us, to see beyond appearances, and to value people for who they truly are, not the stereotypes they are forced to fight against. Because when we start to change how we see each other, we change everything. I hold on to hope that one day, no one will have to face the silent judgments I did, that a Black woman can walk into any room, rent any yacht, or chase any dream without having to prove her worth 1,000 times over. And I hope you hold on to that hope too. We're in this together, rewriting the story, one step, one victory, one moment of truth at a time. If you've ever felt unseen or underestimated, remember your story matters, your journey matters, and your place in this world is yours to claim. What I want you to take away from my story is this: resilience is our greatest strength. No matter the obstacles, no matter the judgments, your worth is unshakable. It's not about fitting into someone else's idea of success. It's about owning your truth and standing tall, even when the world tries to push you down. We all have the power to support one another, to speak up against unfairness, and to celebrate success in every shape and form. Together, we can change the narrative and create spaces where everyone is seen, valued, and respected. If this story moved you, please like, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more stories, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Your voice matters, and your support can make a difference. Thank you for listening, and remember, you belong, exactly as you are.